Starting with news from Hong Kong, in the latest blow to the staunch Beijing critic and media tycoon Jimmy Lai, Hong Kong police have arrested 5 executives of the pro-democracy Apple daily newspaper. The arrests have been made with a warrant to seize journalistic materials, raising further concerns about media freedom in Hong Kong. Hong Kong police raided the offices of pro-democracy newspaper Apple Daily and arrested 5 executives under the city's national security law, including its chief editor, Ryan Law. Calling it a blatant attack on the editorial side of Apple Daily, an advisor to Lai, Mark Simon, has reported that the top editorial people are being targeted and arrested. The second raid on Apple Daily in less than a year was aimed at gathering evidence for a case involving the national security law that Beijing imposed last year. Hong Kong police have frozen $2.3 million worth assets owned by the 3 Apple Daily companies. Hong Kong police said that 5 executives were arrested for collusion with a foreign country or with external elements to endanger national security. All 5 are executives from Next Digital, which is Apple Daily's parent company.
一共咧係凍結咗3間嘅公司嘅資產，分別係蘋果日報有限公司、蘋果日報印刷有限公司同埋 AD Internet Limited， 一共咧係凍結咗1800萬。
The paper broadcast live footage of the police raid on its Facebook account. Officers could be seen cordoning off the complex and walking through the building. Last year, 200 officers went to arrest Jimmy Lai on suspicion of colluding with foreign forces. Jimmy Lai, who owns the tabloid, has been in detention since last December. He has been denied bail under the security law and serving several sentences for taking part in unauthorized assemblies during the mass pro-democracy protests in 2019. The paper has long been a thorn in Beijing's side and has unapologetically supported the financial hub's pro-democracy movement. The security law introduced in Hong Kong last June spearheaded a sweeping crackdown on Beijing's critics in Hong Kong. More than 100 people have been arrested under the law, many of them the city's best-known democracy activists. The law has criminalized dissent, giving China jurisdiction over some cases. Under the law, authorities have been awarded wide-ranging investigation powers. Those convicted of a national security crime face up to life in prison, and the majority are denied bail after arrest. And for more on this, we are now being joined by WION correspondent Richard Kimber. He's live from Hong Kong. Thank you for joining us, Richard. The arrests have been made with a warrant to seize journalistic materials, raising further concerns about media freedom. How can you explain this to us?
Yes, police here are saying that they found more than 30 examples of Apple Daily articles which they say are directly calling on foreign countries to sanction either Hong Kong or Chinese officials, and that's in direct violation, they say, of this new national security law. One of the crimes that the national security law outlines is the collusion with foreign forces or foreign powers to endanger national security in Hong Kong, and that's why they're targeting the Apple Daily newspaper, because it says that it's publishing articles that are directly violating this new law.
Right, Richard. Also, this is the second such raid on the Apple Daily offices. What does this mean for the ongoing case, and what can we expect going forward?
Well, this is creating a lot of anger among the media industry here. There have been countless examples of media spokespeople from either the international or local media calling afoul of this type of activity. They say this is a direct attack on press freedom, which is supposed to be enshrined in Hong Kong's own basic law, its own constitution. And they say that the Apple Daily is being targeted for merely doing its job, for providing a mouthpiece for alternative ideas and opinions, as the media in their eyes should do. So they're concerned about how this is going to impact the future publication of any articles that are critical of the Hong Kong government, or any ideas that are critical of the way that Hong Kong is being integrated with China. So there are serious concerns about how the effect of this action towards the Apple Daily will impact the rest of the censorship taking place in the media industry, whether that's government-imposed censorship, which the government is denying, or self-censorship on the part of journalists who are now somewhat more fearful of writing or publishing articles which could fall under the same category of being found to be violating the security law.
Right, Richard. Now, we do have a statement from the police that said that 5 executives were arrested for collusion with foreign country or with external elements to endanger national security. How do you assess this? Can we, in fact, expect any sort of international intervention here?
Well, there's certainly more calls for that from what's left of the pro-democracy movement here, but really that pro-democracy movement has been crippled in the last 12 months since the introduction of this national security law. There are still questions being asked about whether or not the political opposition in Hong Kong will actually stand in the upcoming elections in December or not. If it does not, then there will be no formal opposition whatsoever in the city. So really, despite the calls for more international pressure on Hong Kong and China over what's happening as a result of this national security law, there's no real sense of any change taking place, because so far all of the pressures that have been meted out towards the Hong Kong and Chinese governments have been met with, frankly, dismissals from both parties. There's no real sense of any change taking place here, despite all this international frustration.
All right, Richard, thank you so much for joining us with all those updates on this.